What's up, y'all? So I was reading about this. I'm on People Top Stories, and I was reading about this Sharon Chuter, founder of Uoma Beauty and Pull Up for Change, dies at 38. According to Los Angeles County Medical Examiner's report, Chuter died on August 14th. Sharon Chuter died at the age of 38 on the patio on August 14th, according to Los Angeles medical examiners. Chuter was the founder of Alma Beauty, I've never heard of it, and led her mission to diversity the beauty space, especially within conclusion of the black community through Uoma's product and her personal innovations. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right. Months before her death, she filed a lawsuit pertaining to her decision to step down from Alma Beauty. According to Los Angeles Medical Examiner, Chuter, the founder and former creative director of beauty brand Uoma Beauty, was found dead on patio August 14th. Her death is still listed as deferred, which means it's still under investigation. No other details have been shared, but according to the reporter Kirby Johnson, who runs newsletter Ahead of the Curve, a source with knowledge of the situation shared that a former executive of Oma Beauty relayed the news of Chuter's death to other former employees. Oma Beauty was launched by Chuter in 2019 at Ulta, offering over 100 inclusive beauty products, including foundations in 51 shades. Chuter had already established herself as a name in the industry before launching her company. She worked with high-power brands including L'Oreal and LVMH, and even famously convinced Revlon to distribute its products in Nigeria, where she was born. It was important for me to give my own take on inclusivity and diversity, which is simply allowing people to be the better ultimate selves, to be their better ultimate selves, and something I don't think the industry is understanding, she told WWD in 2019. I appreciate uniqueness and stories. Who is behind the shade? What is their origin story and what do they want? And how do we create a world that allows for these different views? Chuter continued to make an impact beyond the store shelves when in June 2020 she launched Pull Up for Change and the Pull Up or Shut Up initiative, which, as reported by Vogue Business, gave companies 72 hours to reveal percentage of their corporate and leadership roles held by black employees. It also encouraged consumers to avoid purchasing from brands until they chose disclose the makeup of their staff. Glossifier, Elf Cosmetics, and MAC Cosmetics were among the participating companies per outlet. In 2022, Shooter opened up about the campaign on the Drew Barrymore show. I did that really to drive more awareness and shine more light to lack of economic opportunities for black community, especially within the beauty space, she said. I've always been the person who speaks up, she continued. Whenever I see something that needs to change, I don't have it in me just to sit it out. In 2021, Chuter then launched the Make It Black campaign with a petition calling upon all major dictionaries to add current, elevated, and positive use of the word black while removing dangerous definitions. A year later, during Black History Month, Make It Black was relaunched with participation from 9 major beauty brands relaunching in their most popular products in black packaging. 100% of the profits were made from the initiative were donated to the Pull Up Change Impact Fund to be used as capital for black-owned business and grants for emerging black founders. Despite all the trailblazing work she had done at the helm of Uoma Beauty, Chuter stepped down as the CEO in 2023, days after confirmed that she remained a shareholder in the company. And An announcement post shared Instagram that made Chuter reveal she came face to face with a health scare that landed her in the hospital that January, and it inspired her to carve out a healthier work-life balance. I lost 10 kilograms in 1 week. Doctors thought it may be a stomach cancer, but luckily it wasn't. And I'm back on Albert Force into medical leave, which was the true story of my sabbatical, she wrote. She continued, I only started going out in October last year, socializing and trying to find myself again after years of literally home and office, sometimes going up to 3 days with no sleep. Building a global business with no co-founder is no easy task. Oh. Just months before Chuter's death, she filed a lawsuit against MacArthur Beauty, which was appointed Uoma Beauty's new owner following the brand's closing in 2023. Brain Trust, a venture fund that made Uoma Beauty one of its first investments, according to Forbes, and settled funding, reports Allure. Among the allegations, the February 2025 lawsuit claimed that Brain Trust took control over Uoma's operations and ultimately pushed Ms. Chuter out of her operational role, and that Brain Trust ceased Uoma Beauty operations during Chuter's medical leave, which, according to her, was meant to end in July of 2023. Chuter's last public Instagram post, shared on May 21st, along a photo of her speaking on stage at a beauty event. She wrote, doing what I do. So, I had saw some of this on TikTok. Like I said, I didn't know about her, or I never heard about this beauty brand, but of course I've heard of Ulta because, Ulta Beauty or whatever. So she was somewhere tied up in there or whatever. But I don't know. I had did a video about this before, y'all, too. It just seemed like to me that every time somebody launched their own business that's worth something or something always end up happening to them. It's been a while ago, but I know I did 2 videos back down here a while ago where, did y'all see, it was 2 black sisters and they had some type of hair line that they run or whatever, and one the creator or whatever that made the company and made the product or whatever, she was battling with, I don't know if this was leukemia or something. It's been so long, so don't quote me on that, but she was battling with something or whatever, but something ended up happening to her. Something about in the middle of the night, somebody went in her home and they found her the next morning with a bag over her head. Somebody done something to her while she was asleep. And they never, last I knew, they never did find out what had happened to her. There was this white guy. He had came up with something. I don't know if it had to, like I said, I might have did a video about this or something. I think it had to do something with like motors or engines or something he had came up with. And they took the stuff from him, and when he found out what was going on, this and that, he came up missing. A couple of doctors, that had invented some type of cure, to cure something, they didn't came up missing. It just seemed like every time you come up with something, and it don't matter if you black or white, it's a green thing, it's a money thing. And there was this young guy, I know this had to be now about like 10 or 15 years ago. I think he was from Asia. He was from some parts of Asia or something, and a black guy. Both of them designed clothes, and they had something that was very famous, and they was on the, how they had these big runways out there in Las Vegas and Los Angeles and this and that and that and this, and they was on the boards with them people running with the big shots, and something ended up happening and they came up missing. And the black guy that was designing the clothes, I don't know if y'all had seen this or not, where they was talking about, what's that brand? Balenciaga, somebody. Yeah, the Balenciaga, I think. He was on here This may about like 3 years ago or something. Black little young, nice looking guy with dreads. He was on there saying that I guess Balenciaga had stole his designs, and he was gonna sue them or something, and he had, I guess, wrote to them or something and told them that he was gonna sue them because they had stole his design or something. He was trying to get on with different companies, and he made some type of outfit and he sent it out there, I guess, to see what they thought about it or whatever. And I don't know if he never did hear from them, but then when he looked up, somehow it was on their display or it was on one of their mannequins or something. And it was something about he had reached out to them and said something about that he was going to sue them. And he was on YouTube saying that, and I think most of these videos have been taken down. He was on YouTube saying that after he sent the letter that they reached out to him, that they wanted to work with him, and he was going out there, and they said he caught a plane out there, I guess, going to work with them. Next thing I know, on the YouTube at the Balenciaga store, they had these models, and they saying that these models are stuffed like wax. They really stuffing real people, putting them in the window, and doing something to them or whatever, and using them for models in the window, but they looking like they stuffed at a wax museum or something. This Asian lady was out there at the mall looking through the window, and she recorded a video, asked was anybody missing a black son, was anybody missing the son, because he was in the window and he looked at real and said he looked like he had been waxed or stuffed with something or something if anybody was missing a child or whatever. So it's just so much stuff going on. And even the stuff, like with Angie Stone and these music people, when they find out, that their royalties is getting messed with, or they can't retire, or they find out this and that's going on. It seems like every time they go to pursue to try to do something to get their money back or expose these people, something ends up happening to them. And I remember one time, y'all, I can't remember if this, I know it was Suge Knight and something with Death Row Records, but I can't remember if it was Snoop Dogg or if it was Dr. Dre. It was one of them, where when the deal went down or something, and I believe, I want to say it was Snoop Dogg, but then again, like I said, I think it was probably pretty much Dr. Dre, but don't quote me. And they had fell out or whatever, and it was talking about, I had saw something where, Dr. Dre, I guess, had put so much into, the business as far, I guess it's like the beats or something. I really don't know because it's been so long ago. But he was talking about, they were saying something about that he walked away with nothing. And he said, no, he said, I didn't walk away with nothing. He said, I walked away with my life. And that was about the smartest thing so far I done heard, somebody walking away with their life, because this stuff is getting dangerous and dangerous. And it's crazy because it's stuff that people then built, is their own gifts, and once they start capitalizing, it's like people will come in and do something and take their businesses or something, or get them as far as taxes or something, and they gonna find a way to get you out of your business. You put in all the hard work and you get it off the ground, but as soon as it start making millions, you better believe they on their way. You gonna cut them in, or you gonna cut it out. You gonna get out, or you gonna let out. And either way it go, they gonna find a way to get the upper hand of the deal, and you gonna get the crumbs. They gonna turn it upside down to where they basically licking their lips in front of your face, counting your money, peeling you off $40, and they running off with all this big money. That's I don't know. I rather, I guess, walk off with my life, like Dr. Dre said, or Snoop, whichever one that was. I rather walk off with my life too. It's a hard pill to swallow, but what do you do? You know what I'm saying? Like, if people, after they start, filing a lawsuit or exposing people, they start getting these, threatening calls from all these different numbers and people watching them and just all kind of nightmare stuff. And then after that, they vanish because they stood up or they figured something out about what was being done with their product or their talents or their music or their business, and stuff like that. I don't know if I was in something and they wanted it or whatever, just take it. I don't think I would go after nobody because first of all, I really don't even know who I'm going after. I know I'm going after the people that I've been dealing with, but then who are the people that they gonna send after me? You see what I'm saying? I think I just walk away from it too, huh? Y'all take this mess. I'll get me something else going. Maine Cougar Cafe or something. Maine Coon Cat Cafe or something. I'll get me something else going. It just, and then once I get that going, get that off the ground, start making me, y'all come take that too. I don't know. But it just seems like either way you go, you doomed. Somebody gonna take something off your hands. Like I said, I've been seeing this happen with doctors that's been coming up with their own type of medicines. I've been seeing this with fashion designers that's got a brand and it's hitting out in Los Angeles and it's all in Italy, for Fashion Week, like I said, these some of these women, these black women that I done seen that's in the hair business that they made a hair product and it done took off. Something that happened to them. Like I said, a couple of white men that done made some type of expensive something for your car and this and that and yeah. Something that happened to them. It's just, like I said, it don't matter about you being black or white. It's green. That's what's going on. And if you got something that somebody can capitalize off of, they not gonna sit there and watch you make all that money and come you a solo person and you running up against L'Oreal and you running up, what I'm saying, against these people that had to come together to make, some type of company, but you coming up by yourself and you done made a company and now you one of their competitors. And they were saying, that was the real thing, that was going on with Michael Jackson because he ended up buying into Sony. And then, it was supposed to be the real thing about Bill Cosby being framed because he had purchased or was about to purchase parts of NBC, you know what I'm saying? And then I know the stuff that was going on with Prince was about that tidal wave and that music, I don't know. It's just sad. I hate to hear that, but I'm just saying if you come up on something, y'all, and you be successful or something, and you find out they done something, or it's just better to walk off. I know it's easier said than done, but it is better to walk away with your life and just start over or something. I don't. It's just one of them things that God gonna have to deal with later on, because like I said, that girl that had that hair product or whatever, and something happened to her. I don't even believe they found out the last I knew what had happened to her. Like I said, they said it wasn't no forced entry, and I knew they said that she had a boyfriend or whatever that she was dating or whatever. I don't know if he lived with her or whatever, but they said it wasn't a forced entry. But the thing is, when people want you, it don't matter. They could go somewhere and get some keys to your house or do anything. I be seeing online, y'all, sometimes, like so y'all know, a lot of times I'm on here and I can get turned off, go down a rabbit hole and get to getting into stuff. And it was some black market that I was looking at that people can go online and somehow get keys made to other people's houses. get keys made to other people's cars. They were saying like it's only so many different type of keys or something to each door or something, but it's a black market where people can get keys made that fit other people's homes. So that don't necessarily mean just because it wasn't a forced entry that somebody around her did it. Or maybe somebody could have, set him up, or told him if he didn't do something then he was gonna lose his life. You just never know about this type of stuff or whatever. But I just be hating when this type of stuff be happening, especially somebody didn't work to get where they at, and then somebody come take something off their hands. And it's just sad that it was her business and she got pushed out of her own business. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I don't know. Like I said, whoever these people are, they gonna find a way to get your business away from you. That's guaranteed. Once you get up and running, you do the sweating, you get all the customers, you do all the advertising, you this, you that, and you this, you that, and then as soon as the money start rolling, they want to get in, they want to invest with you and this and that, and next thing you know, they done took over. It's just one of them things. Well, anywho, let me find out what's else on here. Love y'all.